Kenny Clark, and this is Lombardi's Bar.
This is one of my favorite podcasts to do.
I'm just, blessed and thankful to be a part of this podcast. It's a great podcast, it's a great interview.
Maybe, I know that you guys, obviously being the best Packers podcast that's out there.
I had Malort this weekend, so I'm not tasting anything.
Oh, good.
He did.
God.
He did. That was fantastic.
Because they said, "Did you ever try Malort?" And I said, "No." And then they said, "Do you want to take a shot of Malort?" I said, "No," but I did.
Wait, who said
It's called
Peer
Todd.
pressure.
Yeah.
I tried to get in high honors English class once, and they called my parents and were like, "Hey, just tell him he can't do it."
It shows. It really shows.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show.
Wellity. I see the chat is not as robust as it was in previous weeks about people coming in all hot and bothered. Everyone was all giddy, all excited. Hello, Jay. Come over, Emma, Iowa Joe. Welcome in, everybody. Man, it's almost as if someone out there, some brave singular voice in the Packer atmosphere, tried to tell you guys there was a few little clouds out on the horizon, and everyone said, "Whoa, Mr. Dan, no, the big ER. Why don't you just go back inside and let us enjoy the game?" Did everyone fucking enjoy Sunday? I did not. Bing bong. Dan is correct. Jimmy, Todd, welcome in. Welcome into the Dan revenge era.
Shut up, Dan. Yeah, that sucked. You were right. I'll give you some credit, but
Imagine how are you this smug about a loss? Like because especially considering before we came on, you were saying I didn't say they were going to lose. I said it smelled like a trap game. I didn't think they were going to lose, and you immediately come out toting how fucking right you were about it. Absolute shenanigans on your part. No. Take a victory lap. Take a victory lap again, Dan. You wanted them to lose to the Browns so that you could be right.
I'm going to take a victory lap here.
There it is.
Goddamn right I'm going to take a victory lap here.
Even though Jimmy and Matt will back me up, you said, I never said they were going to lose.
Go back.
It's true.
Go back. Watch. If I was a petty man, and I'm not. I'm a big man.
You already said you went back and watched it yourself.
I did go back and watch. Go back to last week's episode. And you tell me I didn't say word for word exactly the scenario that could happen. That one or two things go wrong and that offense could score enough points to put themselves in a position at the end of the game to be a play away.
And you wanted it to happen so that you could show up here being all smug like you did. Congratulations.
No, I didn't. No, but what I wanted, what I will do is come back now and listen and to everybody in the chat here that last week was ripping me a new asshole and calling me the sad little Care Bear. Now I get to throw it back in your fucking faces and say, now who's the sad little Care Bear? All of you all get to come sit down in the sadness with me because I saw it coming.
If you think for a second that I'm going to be sad about a week 3 loss and a team being 2-1
to the Browns,
an elite defense, the Browns have an incredible defense.
It's the Browns.
We were all incredibly wrong in not giving them enough credit for their defense last week when all we were concerned about was Myles Garrett. That was dumb on all 3 of us. That's a very good defense that they lost to. And being out 2 of your 5 starting offensive linemen, that's a big deal against an elite defense. Missing 2 of your top wide receivers, that's a big deal against an elite defense. So it was there. Like I think I was concerned about that game for what I text you, Jimmy, 35 seconds. Because you text me that night saying you were still bummed about it.
I was still pissed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was
annoyed.
It took me 35 seconds to get over a week 3 loss to an incredible defense.
Listen,
It is what it is. You know what I'm not going to do, though, is show up being all smug that I was right picking against my own team.
No, I do. I want to spend the chat for a little bit.
I am smug against everyone that crapped on me for even possibly thinking that it could go this way. That's what I'm being smug about.
Provide some it wasn't just because you were saying it potentially was a trap game. It's also because right before that, your pay the tab was Jordan Love. So we went from a negativity on Jordan Love to the trap game.
It was a nuanced criticism. It was a nuanced criticism because at that point, we were 2 weeks into the season. There was very little to criticize about that team. I tried to provide a nuanced take about what Jordan Love could improve upon.
Which happened to be something that he's leading the league in being the most effective downfield passer.
There's, again, the nuance. You're missing the nuance.
He could be better than being the best in the league. You're right. He could lap the fucking field.
I don't want to spend an hour going into why you can't just look at one singular number and say that that's your point, but we can move on to the rest of the show if you like.
Great. He brought that up because that was your critique of him, was the deep passes.
No, the deep passes were not the critique. The pass, what I said was, if you go back and you watch, there's a lot of times where I wasn't even fully criticizing the deep passes. What I was criticizing was literally the crossing routes to Romeo Doubs where he's going back and getting these, or it's the ones where guys are having to reach out and make plays where when people who watch film and show you and look at this and say, if the defender was in a better position, this isn't a catch, but it's a good enough ball in this situation. That's what I'm referring to. That's what I'm saying. You guys want to cherry pick the one or two times elsewhere and say that was my
we're using your
point.
words against you. That's
no.
Right. Sorry. No. That's our fault for using your words and data and facts and statistics against you.
Statistics can be very misconstrued very easily.
Gaslight time.
I use it in my job daily.
Yeah, no, that's on us. That's
Jimmy.
On us, Jimmy.
Who would you like to have buy a round? Who would you like to buy a round
we
for?
We didn't let Dan just fucking run amok with whatever he wants to do.
Who would you like to buy a round for, Jimmy?
Well, after one of us, I'm not going to say who, was negative on him last week. I'm going to go Jordan Love. There's a lot of criticism for him. That interception, which now after LaFleur came out, Jordan Love came out, even on the Athletic podcast after that game, it was a hell of a play by the defensive player. Like, he had to make that right read because he was in man, completely left his man to jump that route. He got it. Still probably wasn't the best throw. I'll give you that, Dan. But it was a good thing there. But people are saying he's not clutch. You can't trust him. He led what should have been a go-ahead field goal in that time. Our homeboy Richie B doesn't have his boys right, and there was a blocked field goal. And one of the stats they put out too is that he was pressured on 42% of his dropbacks just with the 4-man rush. If you're allowing that, like, yes, we know we're playing against, and I was wrong last week. I thought it was a Myles Garrett show. All of them are good. All of them kicked our ass this week. But you're going against that defensive line without 2 starting offensive linemen. And one of your replacements is going from right tackle to left guard to right tackle. All in training camp, left tackle too. There's no continuity, as even though I hate him, I shouldn't say that, even though I'm not a big fan, Peter Bukowski pointed out, the continuity is not there. The talent's there, just wasn't ready yet. Jordan Love did what he needed to do to potentially win the game, and getting a lot of crap when probably doesn't need to all be pointed to him.
I like to point out, Jay, I'm not talking about science. I'm talking about data. And yes, interpreting data is exactly what Todd is trying to do. So Yes, it's interpreting data differently. Not talking about any sort of
How
science.
do you interpret that he's the most effective downfield passer?
I'm gonna die.
How is there another way to interpret that data?
But Todd, what I'm saying is that taking that one data point and saying he's clearly a great passer, that doesn't hold water. There's more. Again,
I didn't say
there's nuance. There's nuance and layers to it. It's like a birthday cake or an onion or a tiramisu.
Speaking of birthday cakes, did you happen to reach
didn't
out
wish
to me
you a
on
happy
Friday
birthday, Todd.
on my birthday?
No, I didn't.
Okay. No,
I
no
didn't.
big deal.
I didn't, you son of a bitch.
No, thought we were friends or something, but I guess not. That's fine.
Jimmy, something I thought about too. I don't know if it's so much all the players combined on defense. I think it's Jim Schwartz.
He's good, dude. He's right up that, like,
there's something about Jim Schwartz. Matt LaFleur can't fucking figure him out.
He's a new Steve Spagnuolo. Like, he just has his DC realm now. Never going to be a head coach again. Just is a wizard at his craft. And I don't know. I hate him. I hate him after this week. I always liked him for that aggressive handshake he did once after a game. That's not gone now. I don't like him anymore for that. It's the dude's good. I don't know.
Jay brought it all back with a Schwartz reference. You're back in. Todd, who would you like to buy a round for?
I'm gonna go Xavier McKinney. Finally got a pick. We've been waiting and waiting, and somebody finally decided to just float one up there, and he reminded us all that he's the best center fielder in the game, and just went and fucking got it. So always good to see him with the ball in his hands.
How many do you think he gets this season? You think he gets up to 8 from last year, or just not even close?
I don't know. How many more bullshit Hail Marys are people going to throw before the end of the half? Because it feels like that's the only time anyone is throwing on Xavier McKinney.
That's a very good follow-up, actually. And so maybe 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he gets that many opportunities.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I forgot that's where it came. Now I feel
I'm great for Xavier McKinney. I was so glad when I was like, because I was in such a piss poor mood after that first half, and I was like, who fucking cares? It's an interception, like worthless interception. When I saw it was Xavier, I'm like, okay, like, all right, at least it was Xavier. He got to break the streak. He gets one. It might literally be the one pass he sees for the next like 4 weeks. So,
if it was like last year where he got interceptions week 1 and 2, he would have batted it down and like, oh, let's do a Hail Mary. But he saw that. He's like, I need it. It's been a long time. I'm bored as hell back here.
Exactly. Speaking of the defense, I will buy a round for everybody on this Packers defense. Mostly because they were the only people that I felt performed at or above expectations in this game, or at least from start to finish. This defense, again, doing what they're supposed to do, held a NFL offense to under 14 points. That is what this offense, or that's what this defense is supposed to do. They got pressures. Again, the one touchdown they gave up was because of a short field off of an interception. The only touchdown they gave up off an interception on a short field on a quick turnaround, and some fairly questionable, I would say, help from the referees. Not going to put it all on that, but a little suspect. But they did exactly what they were supposed to do. You really can't ask anything more from that defense. So good for them.
It was the one bright spot on Sunday, that and Daniel Whelan. But it's like nothing changed from that side of the ball. It's still an elite defense, and we get to go against an offense that is missing offensive linemen just like we are, missing their top receiver. We're missing one of our better receivers. So it'll be in our favor on that defensive side of the ball. It should be a crazy thing or momentum to take into the bye, being able to face something like that. But I feel like we like we like to play against those teams sometimes. Not the best. At this Browns game, maybe go right back to the last couple years where we played down in the competition. Not going to fall for that this year. We'll be fine. But that defense should be the bright spot you can count on every single week. Judkins, though, were you surprised a little bit how he ran on us? He had some not like huge explosive plays, but compared to how we handled the run the first couple weeks, that was a little bit surprising to me, getting like 4 yards a pop every time.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, a good chunk of that whole total yardage came off of that one really big breakout play. But I think Quinshon Judkins, he's a good running back. Yeah, I watched him. He won a national championship last year. He's a good running back.
Good boyfriend too, I heard.
Yeah, no, Edwin brings up the good point. Literally the last time I thought about, is that stat accurate? The last time they had 14 penalties, or is that 14 penalties in a week 3 specifically?
No, I think it was overall the last time they had 14.
Overall last time, yeah, because I remember that. For some reason, that line sticks out from the Super Bowl DVD about Mike McCarthy saying like 16 penalties against the Bears in week 3. And they looked like shit. And
he has a reliable source. I trust it.
It is the meme. Memes never lie. Data can lie. Science can lie, but memes will never steer you wrong. Todd, who would you like to have pay the tab?
I'm going to go with Rich Bisaccia. I think this is the second time I've had him for the season. Tons of penalties on special teams again. I think there were 2 holding calls on 1 return because they went the kick return prior to that. There were no holding calls, so they got 2 on the same return. I saw a stat. They're 25th in average starting field position against. So teams are starting with the ball, which I think speaks a lot to the defense and being able to hold opponents. But it's just, buddy, we've been asking for 3 years. What the hell do you do here? Special teams continues to be a weakness of this team. It doesn't ever seem to improve. The penalties are always there. Like, what the fuck is happening?
People like talking to him. That's why he's there still. I don't know, man. I'm befuddled. He is the new Joe Barry of like, how is he still here? I don't, except the only difference is he doesn't have that one random playoff game against the 49ers where he does really well. Bisaccia there really is no, what does he do here? Maybe that one Keyshawn Nixon return for a touchdown. He's just living off that glory still. But I don't get it. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like if the value he brings,
he's the highest paid special teams coordinator in the league.
Right. If the value he brings is assistant head coach, advisor to LaFleur, whatever, like everyone really likes talking to him. Okay, great. He's like one of those fucking golden retrievers that teams bring on the bus like every so often.
He's our big Dom from the Eagles. Right. Let him be our big Dom.
Yeah, then go hire a fucking special teams.
I agree.
Go hire somebody else to run the fucking special teams and let Rich Bisaccia sit there and look like a weird old Joe Pesci on the sidelines.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
We solved it.
All right. Yeah, we figured it out. Jimmy, I'll let you go ahead next. I'll let you get a pay the tab here. Who do you think needs to pay the tab?
The whole offensive line. Honestly, it was abysmal. That was the worst thing I've seen in a long time with that. Like Rasheed Walker, him yelling Jordan run, and it was a great clip to get. And then you have Myles Garrett laughing and mocking it on the sideline. Like, that was a great synopsis of this game of just our offensive line was just yelling Jordan run for 4 quarters of the game. Like there's no chance getting a rhythm. And what really pisses me off is they broke the pay the tab bump we had going. I had 2 weeks in a row. They ruined it. offensive line, I'm not going to give the Browns defensive line credit on this. I'm going to blame you entirely. Your fault. Dude, your offense can't go. We invested so much in the offensive line. I know we need to get some continuity and some playing together a little bit longer, I guess, and getting time in there healthy in a few weeks. And Aaron Banks, honestly, I don't even give a shit about Aaron Banks at this point. It's just, you can't let that happen. Maybe if Jordan Morgan's able to stay at the left guard position for a little bit longer, he kind of builds up his ability there. But it's just, that was such a piss poor performance. It was honestly shocking.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah, I was waiting for either of you. I'm just listening to the damn train over here. Like, okay.
No, I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, it was one of the worst offensive line performances I've seen out of the Packers in a long time. And it's really, what really stood out was Elton Jenkins looked lost. And like, that's the first time I can remember in a long time seeing Elton Jenkins, no matter where he was on the offensive line, look like he didn't have a clue what was going on sometimes. And that's even worse now that you're the fucking center. Like it's terrible. And you know, the whole what is one of the keys that not even just Brian Gutekunst, but Ted Thompson, the whole Packers organization has hung their hat on year in and year out. They draft and develop good offensive linemen. They do a great job of finding offensive linemen, protecting their quarterback. And now we're in a situation where I understand the injuries thing. You can't plan for that. But like you said, Jimmy, Jordan Morgan was a liability. Like one of maybe the worst Packers on the field on Sunday. And that's a former first round pick out there. Like you are investing heavily in high draft picks, high draft capital in your offensive line. And it can't look like this. Injuries or not.
Yeah. I wonder now too, because Jenkins, he was a question mark after this year anyways, just salary wise, being his cap hit next year is crazy. So obviously they can do some restructuring. That was his whole holdout at the beginning, but hasn't been great for the first few weeks, but it's a long season. Hopefully it can bounce back. But yeah, that's not I know you said we invested heavily in offensive line. I could see another first or second round center coming our way next year if we need to bolster that a little bit more too, and he's not the answer. So I don't think that's going to end anytime soon, as it shouldn't, because this is just showing even more the importance of it. But I don't want to give up, and I know you weren't saying it, but Jordan Morgan yet, like obviously you have some people on Twitter giving up on him the second we drafted him, but obviously there's talent there. And Ken, I love how they want people to play multiple positions, but I think this is a case in point of it's good to have people with flexibility, but sometimes it can bite you in the ass when they're not in one spot to be able to learn. And LaFleur even mentioned that a bit himself of like, he's bouncing around so much. It's hard to see him grow in one area when he's not there for more than one or two practices at a time.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have guys with positional versatility on the line. Don't force it if it's not there.
Right.
Like, I get it. You want to have your best five out there, but if one of your best five is a tackle, don't force him to play guard because he's one of the best five, if that's not what he's suited for. Right. I kind of wish they would, when they experimented that season moving, I think it was Jenkins' second year, they tried him at right guard or right tackle, and it didn't go well, and they moved him back to left guard. And I really wish they would have just left him there because he was so good at that spot that once again, now you've got him trying to learn something else. And I really think, especially, I mean, Belton got a little bit better as the game went on, but like when you've got two guards next to you that you're not used to playing with, you're moving around. Like his responsibility is to help one guy while the other guy's boat's sinking. So it just, I think it hampers his ability to do his job well because he's got to worry about doing everyone else's job too. So I think once they get that a little bit more solidified, figure out who your guards are going to be and get some continuity, like you were saying, Jimmy, I think it's going to make Jenkins that much better to just be able to go do his thing.
Wait till next year when they move Zach Tom to center and then Belton starting right tackle. We'll start this all over again a year from now, complaining about the same thing.
Can't wait.
Can't fucking wait.
They're gonna fuck around and make me miss Josh Myers.
You'd be calling the Jets right now and be like, hey, you guys sure you want him?
Yeah,
send him back.
We'll take him.
Yeah.
Let me add this. I'm just curious. Is there a level that this offensive line gets to in terms of injuries, or like if the offensive line play continues? I'm thinking more about if Josh Jacobs in the run game really can't continue to keep going. Like if that continues to stall, is there a point you get to where you say you need to pull the trigger and make an investment on the trade market for some kind of offensive lineman somewhere? Because I feel because the only reason I think about that is if you've gone all in for Micah Parsons, right? Are you going to let offensive line injuries hamper your first shot at a Super Bowl in the Super Bowl window with all the with the full cast that you have right now? Are you going to let it affect you?
I mean, I think there's enough guys probably out on the street that they can bring in. Considering that they gave up their next 2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons, I don't see them giving out too many more picks to bring somebody in, especially somebody. If you're going to bring in somebody that's a real difference maker over somebody that's currently a street free agent, that's going to be some significant draft capital that you're going to have to give up to get a high impact guy on the line. And I don't think that I think we're still used to that window closing with Rodgers that felt like for a decade of, just not knowing where the team was or how much longer he was going to play. The window for this team is just opening. Parsons isn't here on a 1-year deal. Like he's here for 4 years, 5 years after this, or 4 years after this. Like it's the youngest team in the league. There's not a lot of real high-end guys that are hitting the end of their contracts or end of their career. So I think next year, probably next year and the following year are really where we can start thinking about like, okay, you got to go all in and make that one final push. I don't think it's this year.
Yeah. And especially too with the offensive line, like it's rare for a team, even if they're tanking, to trade away a starting caliber offensive lineman. I know last year, I think it was the Jaguars traded, was it Cam Robinson to the Vikings after their left tackle went down. But besides that, at that point too, it's the Jaguars and they're like, this guy kind of sucks anyways. Our backup's probably just as good. And with Green Bay, I think you maybe try to use that flexibility they've been focusing on so much. I just don't think you're going to get anyone that's worth trading anything for at that point and even if they are a bad team, like you need your offensive line to be somewhat okay to be able on the offensive side, be able to test out any young player you have there. So I don't think I just don't even think it'd be much of an option at this point. I feel like that's more of an off-season thing, or like Iowa Joe pointed out, a Kennard right before the season. That's probably, but even him, it's not a big starter, someone that you're expecting to come in and play. It'd be more of a depth situation.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to pose the question.
I think True North said it best. Bo Melton, guard.
What can't Bo Melton do?
Nothing. Put him, fire Bisaccia, hire him
a pass.
Exactly. Make Bo Melton special teams coordinator.
Dude, how cool would it be to have a player coach? I'm just saying,
that would
be a
be
great
pretty
story.
fucking cool. That would be pretty cool. I would like that. My pay the tab. Everyone except the defense. I know we tried to make exceptions for other people and everything. I don't give a fuck at this point. I'm going scorched earth, napalm, salted afterwards. Everyone except this defense, pay the fucking tab. Fuck all of you. God damn it. That Sunday sucked so goddamn hard. I grew up around Browns fans my whole life. I fucking hate Browns fans and Bengals fans. Some of the absolute worst fans in the world. And I can't stand losing to them. That's what really pissed me off on Sunday. Was that the first time since 2005 they get to hang that over me. Now, 20 fucking years.
Well, the silver lining is at least we didn't lose to Deshaun Watson and the Browns. Like, you can at least rest your hat on that, hey, we didn't add that guy on top of it. I'm trying to find anything right now for you, Dan, because you
literally on top of you.
Well, he was laying on a table.
Allegedly. Let's move to what's on tap here. Talking about Sunday night against the Cowboys, another road test. I mean, we were already looking forward to this one before the Micah Parsons trade. Now, I feel like if NBC could, they would take this game and move it to like Thanksgiving or something. Like this just became like 1A game on their Sunday Night Football card this season. And not that I feel bad for a big broadcasting behemoth, but to have it happen in week 4 feels kind of like a bit of a letdown.
Oh yeah. Especially too after last week, CD Lamb going out. It's like, okay, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Offensive lineman, like, okay, that's not great. Even I think 2 of their corners. I know Diggs had that knee thing already, and I think another corner went down there. Yeah, they're wishing.
Literally the only interesting thing about this now is Micah Parsons coming back and kicking the shit out of Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
that's it.
Dude, did you see the new the clickbait thing where they're saying Michael Parsons said it's going to be painful when he sacks Dak Prescott? Yeah. When like the whole thing was him actually saying it's going to kind of suck to tackle a guy that I care or sack a guy I care about. And they completely twisted it. I was like, come on, guys.
ESPN would never do that.
You're right. My bad. Stephen A. Smith, we all know him as being just straight to the facts. No shenanigans.
Science. I mean, what are we worried at all about this game now after what we saw Sunday?
No. Let's let you start. I want you go ahead before we give positive and you bring us down. I want to just hear your thoughts on this.
I'm much less worried about this game than I was against the Browns, especially without CD Lamb. Because the biggest thing, number one, the Bears embarrassed them. Russell Wilson, who just got benched for Jackson Dart, torched their ass. Like, they are a historically bad passing defense. They are not good. And they invested heavily in their pass rush. I think they're all 3 of their main pass rushers that they brought in last year. No pressures last week against the Bears. So this is a terrible, terrible defense. You're in a place that this offense, this team feels comfortable playing in. The big key for me, though, I did not realize this until I was reading the dope sheet on Packers.com. I did not realize Matt Eberflus is their defensive coordinator. They're gonna fucking eat this guy up, man. Jesus Christ, this is going to get ugly.
Yeah, I forgot he was there until I saw a tweet that said Eberflus is finally developing Caleb Williams.
That was a good one.
Fucking incredible. Yeah, I mean, this is a good defense for the Packers to bounce back against.
Yeah.
I will be very concerned going into a bye week if the offense putters again this week.
Yeah.
Not only is it a terrible pass defense, they're last in the league in passing yards per game. They are 17th in opponent rushing yards per game at 110. So that's awful. Giving up almost 400 yards a game and over 30 points. Like, let's put it together this week, guys.
Dude, I really want to see Matt LaFleur just get extra petty and be like, oh, the reason you wanted to get rid of Parsons and bring in Kenny Clark is run defense, and just run. It's a Josh Jacobs game. Just like, this is the game he breaks it.
Have Jordan Love throw the ball 5 times.
Oh yeah. It's what's going to be super annoying is if we do have a run heavy scheme, which, like, I don't care how we win the game. You could have Daniel Whelan going at quarterback and just run it every time. I don't care. Win the game. But if Jordan Love doesn't have 4 touchdowns like Caleb Williams or as many yards, it's going to be an annoying week afterwards, just from Bear fans of like, oh, Caleb Williams is better. We played better against this team. It's going to be a lose-lose. I already prepped my brain of just seeing dumb stuff on Twitter. But no, Todd said it. You said it too, Dan. Like, this is the perfect team to have a bounce back game on with the defense like this. And even if CeeDee Lamb was there and their offensive line was healthy, our defense has been playing at such a high level that I still wouldn't have been that worried. But the offense, it has to be oh yeah, we got our shit rocked last week. That's not how we actually are. Bounce back game. So we'll see, dude. But I'm expecting. Comb over, put it in there, Mr. Lake Arbutus himself. It should be at least 30 points.
Yeah, I feel like this would be a disappointment if you don't hit 30 points against this Cowboys defense. Defensively, who is the Cowboys' leading receiver after CeeDee Lamb? Is it Pickens?
Probably Pickens or Turpin or something.
Oh, I forgot about Turpin. Yeah, it's just like that offense, that wide receiver room just falls apart after CeeDee Lamb. Like, it's so bad. Like, this is, if you were a person that felt bad about, could feel bad about Dak Prescott, you'd feel bad about Dak Prescott here. I don't feel bad about Dak Prescott because he's a filthy Cowboy. But yeah, it also makes sure you don't take the Broncos lightly this week at the same time. Anything else, guys, on the Cowboys before we bounce over to bar bets?
This isn't Cowboy specific, and I hate that I've referenced this person twice in one show, but I'll just do the original one. Someone posted a video of some of the tackling that was happening within the game, and when we saw like week 1 and 2, there were 5-6 guys by the ball. And they showed the highlight of Fannin breaking like 3 tackles to get the first down.
Yeah.
And then you see just people like stop and walk over. Do you think it was because it was late in the game, or do you think there was kind of a drop off in some of the intensity? It's not like the defense played bad, so I'm not putting it on them in any sense of the word. Do you think that kind of rallying to the ball was more of just like a hype the season started? We have Micah Parsons, we're at home kind of thing, or do you think are you trying to say that it was because they had 2 games in the first 5 days and then a lull, and some of that hype might have worn off, and then they played and didn't quite have the juice that they did the first 2 weeks? Is that what you're trying to? All right. Well, I have to apologize to 2 people and say I was wrong. Yes, that might have played a factor in it, Todd. You might have been right. My bad.
Yeah, I wasn't. Oh, did I say that? I didn't even realize that was something I said. You're right. I did bring that up, didn't I? And then you both promptly shit all over me for it. So,
Okay. Your smugness when you said, I'm not going to start the show being all smug. You just waited till later. That's acceptable then?
Yeah. It's fine when I do it, Jimmy. Figure it out.
Yeah. First 5 minutes off limits. 40 minutes in, be as smug as you want. I got it.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
say
not rocket
I think some of it also has to do that defense probably feeds off of the offense, like kicking ass and taking names, you know? Like when you're a kick-ass defense and you go out there and you keep shutting down, getting pressures, hitting the quarterback, doing your fucking job, and then you turn around and Jordan Love is getting huge chunk plays and it's two play touchdown drives, right? To put up points on the Lions or do whatever. Yeah, it's easy to go back out there on defense and keep kicking their ass. But like when you have to go back out there in the second half after your offense only put up 3 points against the Browns, like that probably not saying that you take it, you lose some of the juice. You do lose some of the juice. Jake Ferguson is the leading fucking receiver on this team after CeeDee Lamb. Holy balls.
He had a big week last week. So did Pickens too. They both Pickens is fine. He'll probably get kicked out for having a tantrum after like the first quarter and a half.
That's true. That we are getting dangerously close to, I think, a breaking point with this Cowboys team. And Micah Parsons coming back and whooping their ass might be the breaking point.
I think, yeah, if the offense gets it rolling and the defense is playing well and they get cocky, I can see Nixon and McKinney starting to run their mouth to Pickens, just getting in his head. He's going to swing on someone, probably his own coach, or Dak.
We're screwed, dude. He's already like, I'm going to wear a mouth house.
Is it illegal to punch your own quarterback? Do you still get ejected for that?
Nah.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Debo Samuel choked his own kicker last year, so I think you can punch your quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you could find odds on what wide receiver is most likely to punch their own quarterback this year, Pickens is the runaway favorite.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the smart money week to make that bet.
Probably shortly followed by DK Metcalf, the guy that replaced him in Pittsburgh. Those would be two my main bets.
Yeah.
I would pay money to see that. I'd pay money to see DK get in Aaron Rodgers' face. I would love to see that. No, it probably doesn't happen, but anyway, let's go to bar bets here.
Hold on, Eddie. No way Dak loses a fight. He had to have himself put under to get tattooed.
Did he really? Well, he was did he get like a huge back one, or was I wish it was just like a little underarm little piece?
No, it was
one of those ones they put on like your finger, like right here.
He got a star on his foot.
He got live, laugh, love on his tricep. No, it was a big piece. And to his credit, like if I have to lay down for an 8-hour session, yeah, I'd like to just be knocked out too. But let's not just say that means he's not going to lose in a fight.
That's right. He did get in. He did get his ass kicked.
I'll watch that.
He was at Mississippi State.
Do not hold on. Don't click on any links that Ed sends. Unless you're on your work laptop, then it's fine.
All right. I promise I will click on my work laptop. Send it.
Let's jump into bar bets here. Let's talk about Jordan Love and this offense. Over under 2.5 passing touchdowns. We talked about how bad this pass defense is for the Cowboys. He had 2 passing touchdowns in each of the first 2 games. 1 this past week.
Sorry, I saw that.
I saw that too. Does he break it and get 3 passing touchdowns this week, Jimmy?
I'm gonna go yes. 5 Bakhtiaris. I think it's a huge bounce back game, especially in the pass game. As much as I'd love to see Josh Jacobs go for like 200 yards just for my entertainment, you know what? Let's involve Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs gets his second career receiving touchdown. But no, I think he beats it. I think he gets the 3 this week.
Todd?
I'm gonna say 5 Bakhtiaris. No. I think he has 2. I think Jacobs has 2. I think we kick a couple of field goals to get over 30. But that's playing the odds on this one. Dallas is giving up an average of 3.7 touchdowns per game. And 1.3 of those are rushing. So the odds aren't there, especially if I think Jacobs is going to get 2.
Well, if Jordan Love gets 2.6 passing, I'm technically right.
You tell me when he gets that 0.6 of a touchdown pass.
I got you.
I'm going to go for Bakhtiari's over. Yes, I think he will. I mean, like I said, like this is the perfect defense. It's tailor-made for this offense to go big play hunting, and the bounce back game. I think they light it up on Sunday. All right, Micah Parsons over under 1.75 sacks, because I didn't want any push bullshit of a 1.5 sacks here. So basically, is he going to get 2 sacks or less than 2 sacks is what I'm looking for here. Todd?
I'm looking at the stats again, and I'm going to say over 5 Bakhtiaris. I think he gets 2.
I'm going to be right with Todd. I say over 5 Bakhtiaris. Yeah. I know sometimes we think we think too much about the narrative, and then we go into a game and get hugely disappointed. This is a narrative game. Micah Parsons is going to destroy the Dallas Cowboys. Jimmy?
I was debating getting cute and being like, I could game Bakhtiaris if I say no. I'm with you though. Like, I think Parsons is a psychopath. I am. Parsons is a psychopath. He wants to make sure he puts a statement to Oil Man upstairs. I'm following 5 Bakhtiaris over. I feel like he's gonna have a hell of a game. So yeah.
Do you think he like, this is just me. If I was Micah Parsons, so if I was an athletic 22-year-old black man that could play football, and I sacked my former quarterback in the stadium that I used to play in, I would go and I would point directly at Jerry Jones' box every fucking time. I wouldn't do any. I would give me a delay of game penalty. I would stand there. I would stand over Dak Prescott and I would point right at Jerry Jones. And I would say, you did this right there.
See, I think I'd be a little more petty. I was thinking like, I'll take 15 yards, drop the DX suck it sign, right? Like looking directly at the box, even point at him first and then do the suck it sign. There it is. That said it too. Yeah. Dude, I would just full tent at that point. Like I would be so happy. I'll take every penalty. Honestly, just get kicked out. I don't even care. Do it twice, get kicked out. We're fine. I don't know.
All business. Sack him. Go back to the defensive huddle like you did before.
Todd.
Such a dude.
Now that he's 40, Todd lost all fun. He's like, no, hand the ball to the ref. You score a touchdown.
Act like you've been there before.
I hate you, Todd.
All right. Last one here, since we're talking about Josh Jacobs and hopefully a bounce back game for him. Over under 100 total offensive yards for Josh Jacobs. So not just rushing, receiving as well, because last week, pretty near all of his offensive production came through the passing game. Do we see him reach 100 total offensive yards this week? I'll take this one first. I'll go 3 Bakhtiaris, and I'll actually say no, because I think, like I said, I think it's going to be big play hunting, and I think it's going to be kind of a Quinshawn Junkins sort of game for him, like 97 rushing yards, and he gets like really close to 100. It's going to look really good on the stat sheet, but I don't think we crack 100 for him. Todd?
Again, I messed up and I looked up stats during the show, and I'm seeing Dallas is averaging 109.7 rushing yards against them per game. Not all of the carries are going to go to Josh Jacobs, but the majority of them are. He's going to get involved in the passing game. 5 Bakhtiaris over.
I don't, they sure do seem to love these Savion Williams fucking end arounds now. Jimmy.
Sounds like you don't.
Yeah.
I like him every now and then. I don't need him like back to back in a shootout game against Cleveland, Matt. Jimmy.
You just call Todd Matt?
No,
I was referring to Matt LaFleur.
Oh,
the coach,
the man who was responsible.
All right, my mind went
play.
to producer Matt, and I was like, "Why the fuck are we calling him out right now?" Okay, I'm gonna follow Todd, not as confidently, because I am a coward. I'll get ahead of that, Todd. I'm gonna go 3 Bakhtiaris. Yes, I think he'll have some explosive runs, get a little bit involved in the pass game. So I think he'll get over 100. And I really do think this is going to be I don't want to say breakout offensive game because we put up over 25 points the first two. So, but just a bounce back offensive game. So I would, I'll go 3 Bakhtiaris over.
All right. What about Bo Melton? Does he get his pass breakup this week?
5 Bakhtiaris, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but since he's had more snaps on offense and defense at this point, I would say 5 Bakhtiaris. No,
we're getting the Javon Bullet injury is opening the window for Jimmy's wonderful experiment to take place on an NFL field.
I love it, but yeah, no.
Yeah, no. 5 Bakhtiaris, no, he's not gonna get a pass breakup this week. One of these weeks, though, it's gonna be like week 10, 11. You're gonna think about the Bo Melton pass breakup Bakhtiari. It's gonna sit there.
He's gonna be a starting corner at some point.
He needs to get a few snaps on defense before I'm going to start considering saying yes to this. I feel like I will be the first person to guess yes on this one.
5 Bakhtiaris, yes. Todd is the first person to bet on the Bo Melton pass breakup bar bet.
Yes.
But I'm not there. I need him. I got to see him get like 6-7 snaps a game before I can just fall in on that one.
We're going to do this whole bit all season. He's going to get like 1 snap at the nickel and blitz and get a sack before he ever gets a PBU. That's going to be our luck on this. It's like, oh, we were so close.
Or it'll be like a scoop and score touchdown on a fumble.
100%. The one time I'd retire after that point. Be like, no. 1 snap, 1 score, I'm done.
Does it count as a pass breakup if you are just like running and the ball hits off like the back of your helmet? Because I feel like that's what's gonna happen is like it's gonna be something like that where he's not even like looking for the ball, he's just gonna be like and it just wangs off of him and they count that as a pass breakup and that's what scores this Bakhtiari.
It's going to be us versus the Vikings with Carson Wentz at quarterback. It's going to be straight butt shot. Like it's not even close to the helmet. That's yeah. I'll count it though. If I bet yes,
it's going to bounce like off of his heel.
Yeah. We spend an hour of the show just examining the replay over.
It's a Pooter film just back and forth. All right. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back next week to break down everything after this Cowboys game, and Jesus Christ, get us ready for a early bye week. That is really sad to talk about.
Zach Tom needs it.
I think that sounds like Jordan Morgan fucking needs it too. If you'd like to follow the show, we're on Twitter at Lombardi's Bar. All 3 of us are on the socials and the little bubbles right down there. I'd say follow the show on YouTube so you get notified when we go live, but apparently YouTube doesn't like that. So just make sure, like, set it in your calendar right now, like 8:55 Eastern Wednesdays. Lombardi's Bar is starting in 5 minutes, or 7:55 Central Time. Lombardi's Bar starts in 5 minutes. Set it for every fucking Wednesday so you don't forget to come on and join us. We appreciate everyone in the chat that stopped by, gave me shit. Gave Jimmy Todd shit, but less shit than I got shit. Producer Matt.
You started with them today. Today you went at them in the first couple minutes. So today
they drew first blood. They drew first blood last week. I did not. They drew first blood.
You're
For
just
producer
so
Matt.
excited to be right.
For producer Matt behind the scenes, for Jimmy, for Todd, I'm your bartender Dan saying cheers, and as always,
Prick.
back go.